Hey everybody, welcome back to Game of Tones. This is going to be episode 9. It's been a long time, so let me just come right off the bat and say this episode is going to be really chill, you guys. This is just going to be a little bit of a hangout and game deving session. I think that when I first started this series, I didn't expect it to be a thing. But apparently a lot of people feel like, hey, I just like watching you work. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I can do more of these then, right? So for the people that just like vibing out and chilling out with me, this is for you guys. I feel like we've been all going through a lot. We've got a crazy pandemic here, so hopefully everyone is staying safe. And also, I know a lot of people are out of work. So because of that, all my music on Bandcamp will be free until this pandemic is over. That being said, on a brighter note, let's just get right into it. So I think for this episode, my main thing here is this. So I was tasked with writing basically just one track for a mobile game from, Loot Fox Games. And they were really calm about it. They were just saying that they wanted something that feels a little bit adventurous, but really nothing too grandiose. Something low key, right? Get that volume up there. These harps could be kind of low sometimes. I'm a big harp person because when I think of adventure, when I think of oh, that's nice. When I think of adventure, when I think of exploration, I think of that childlike curiosity feeling. Nice. So, I don't have a hard idea of where this is gonna go. So I'm just gonna start putting ideas down. This is the hardest part, right? I always think this part is definitely the hardest part of composing for anything. Like, you just never know where to start. I think starting is tricky. Some people are like speed demons and they know right off the bat, but when I have a blank canvas, I get shy. Doesn't that feel good? Let's see, something. I think I want something a little bit happier though, but not too happy. I don't know. Yeah, you guys, so it's been a long many years. I think that I have missed this. I think the truth of it is I've been doing a lot of client work back to back, and I didn't get a chance to really write music that I loved for a long time. That sounds nice. Do I want that? That velocity is a little bit too striking there. I'm gonna bring that down some. Right? Something about this range here. It kind of feels Final Fantasy to me. Let's put that in. If anything, we can always change it later. This is my biggest thing, right? Nothing is set in stone. But this range is beautiful. I don't know why. Let's try it. Let's get that tempo down. Maybe a little bit about here. We don't want that to be too striking. Too striking. Maybe about here, maybe? And then slow it down again. We want it to be really low. Like tempo, like walking speed, maybe? Okay. Maybe a little bit lower than that. And a little bit slower. I think I'm getting a little bit... We're going to snail speed here, so we got that on 80. Nice. Why does it still feel so high? Let's put it down from here. Okay. Maybe. Maybe. We can always try it out. I'm so picky with the first couple of like patterns because my whole thing is if it doesn't repeat, then it doesn't work for me. Let's see. That does kind of work. So you know what? We'll keep it there as a placeholder. As a matter of fact, what I can do is just paste that over, copy and paste it. I'm going to make a little bit of a variation here. I just don't know where. Let's take a listen to this. Maybe this note here. That A sharp here. Maybe that can come down to maybe an A. sounds sour. What note is it I'm looking for here? Is it G? So honestly, I'm not sure what this is gonna be, but I think this B maybe could be... This could be a B maybe? Kind of sounds similar to the A sharp. Barely a difference. I don't know. I guess I'm freaking out, but let's just start slow, right? So we've got like at least a starting point. I think my starting point is my biggest thing. We got some harps here, and they're setting the pace. I'm gonna immediately piggyback off of that and go into some kind of warm pad section because I don't want to get caught up. I tend to get caught up and I shouldn't. Basically, I want to get the outline. So if I get too caught up, someone just like scream at me or something. I basically just want the outline. This is going to help me continue making the track and building it, and then I can go back and start sculpting out the pieces that I really want to keep. I'm going to dig into Omnisphere here, right? I think Omnisphere is very powerful. It is probably completely underutilized in my personal opinion. I mean, I definitely don't use it as strongly as I should, but I love it for that warm texture. The pads and strings here are amazing, and there's like so many different synths I haven't played with yet, but the pads and strings are my absolute favorite here. I don't even know where to begin. There's so many, and this could take a... Well, I think there was like... Let me see. I want something a little bit... Let's see. Maybe I'll go down to Juno. There's a lot here. There's so many options. But hopefully everyone's been good, you know? And thanks for rocking out with me still. I feel like this is one of those things that I just cannot step away from. I love it too much. Splasher. Yeah, this is tricky here. Let's just... I think a simple Jupiter iPad. Is that... Oh, that's nice. That's really warm. There's a little bit of a tail at the end of that, though. What about simply mellow? Ooh. That's kind of weird. But I kind of like it, though. I think I can kind of play with that. If anything, we'll just scrap it if it doesn't work. So this harp is playing, right? So let's get an idea of what that sounds like with some pads layering it. Right, let's see. So we're gonna play it here. Okay. So I'm getting some ideas here. I think it's cooking. It's getting a little hot. It's sizzling a little bit. But I think this pad is a little bit too loud. So we're going to pan that a little bit left. We're going to duck some of that volume. The same right, we're going to... yeah, I think that's pretty fine. Maybe a little bit less. And I'm just going to start crafting some of these chords here. Is that the one I'm looking at? It feels almost... haunted. So if I'm not mistaken, this probably won't work for something happy unless I figure out how to change that up a little bit. Maybe we can extend this a little bit. Maybe right there. That kind of feels good. So let's just lower that velocity a little tiny bit. I feel like this pad is very strong. That's nice. Nah. Let's try that again. That feels really good. This chord here, what am I doing here? I'm hitting these three. This kind of sucks when you don't have too much music theory. but you guys know it by the notes that you hit. Not pretty the best way to do it, but it works. So this is part here is I really feel like this would work. This kind of, ooh. It still feels a little bit dark to me though. Like, it doesn't feel as happy. I guess maybe what I can do is switch it up with some cool percussion at some point. Let's see. Isn't that nice? Let's put that in. I feel like harps just are awesome. If I could play them, I would. Let's save because I haven't saved. Let's just call it mobile game. Always save your work. Put on the desktop. Awesome. So we've got something moving a little tiny bit. And if anything, let's paste that over. Let's see how those first couple of bars sound. Probably a little bit stale at the moment. Okay, so maybe what I can do is in this section here, I really want a second heart pattern that leads back into the first one. I think it doesn't even need that much changing, to be honest, but I can't have the same exact thing happening twice. Where is this change gonna happen? Let's see. That feels a little bit better. Very ominous though. Can I make this sparkly somehow? It feels really, really intense. Like almost like you're going to like a graveyard or something. I don't think that's the feeling we want to get here, but I don't want to quit. It feels good. And you know what's cool about this is like, so I don't really know where I'm going, but it feels good. Even if it doesn't necessarily work out for the track that I'm trying to make, I don't want to scrap it. I feel like don't throw away ideas. Like always keep ideas coming and flowing. It never hurts to just keep an idea. But what am I missing here? I think it has something. It has movement at this point, but I don't really know if this is enough. I think maybe in this area here, let's just go in here. We got to get a piano going. I don't know why, but I love pianos. Maybe that might change it up some. Hopefully it might brighten it up. Auto name that. Icons just for fun. There was actually a really cool piano I like using. So I actually ended up buying Nexus 3 recently. And I love it. I think it's really good. It has some hiccups. I'm not going to say it's the, completely like headache free. But I haven't had too much trouble with it. But I do love this piano though. Yeah, let's load that up. Okay, let's play some ideas. So let's say we're going to start from the beginning and just hit some keys and see what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is something that I'm not good at, but I always try and experiment with this when I can, which is the recording button. And this is when I just don't really care to get the notes exactly quantized to the grid exactly. This could be pretty cool for making the track sound a little bit more realistic, a little bit, like a tad more realistic, where like the notes are hitting but not exactly on the beat. So we kind of mimic that live play. Let's give it a shot. My timing is probably not the best. I think I like these notes up here, right? That sounds, it feels like crispy, very bright, very happy. very explorative. But even here in the mid-range is nice. Yeah, a little bit dark, but dark could be beautiful as well, right? Let's see. And that stops. And I think when I go back in here and look at that, let's take a look. It's not the worst, not the best. I guess I could try and... Would that help? Auto quantize is good and bad. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I think I'll keep it not quantized. It just feels like messy, but like a clean mess until I go back and check it out. So I think these instruments here working together are doing something really nice. I don't know what that nice is, but it feels good. So if it feels good, why stop it? But the next part, always the worst, right? We've got the intro basically here already, which I didn't realize that was already 24 seconds, right? And so now we've got this next section here, which is just the piano, adding on to what we already had in the intro, which is taking up another 47 seconds. So this is a lot of work that's being done basically for a condensed amount of time, because most mobile games have music that repeats after basically a minute. I'm very crazy, so I just feel like the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I always try to just make my tracks complete no matter what. I don't try to condense it, but what I will try to do is keep this in a range of maybe a minute to a minute and a half, and then see what we can cook up from there. I don't want to push it too far, but oh my goodness, I'm actually gonna get a little sip of water, so be right back. 1 second, guys. Hydration, everybody. It's important. Always stay hydrated. Okay, so we're going to get into this middle section, which could also be this kind of the point where the track starts either getting ready for the loop or will actually loop after this. It depends. It depends how I'm feeling here. Actually, it's weird. I'm feeling a little bit mixed. Not to say that I don't like the way it's going, but I feel like it's becoming something entirely different from the way I imagined it, which is kind of interesting. So I'm not sure what to do here. So what I think I could do for fun, so how we had the harps up here kind of leading this down melody, this kind of anchored melody that just repeats itself, we can take the piano and do the same, right? I think we can make it unique, delete that. But the trick to this is, so let's see what the harp is doing here, right? I want to make sure. So if I were to do the same thing with the piano, which is it here? Let's see. If I could kind of either swap that pattern and then make it kind of unique to the piano, and let's see, maybe that could be a little bit interesting. No way. Let's try a little bit higher scale here, because that doesn't work too well. Let's try maybe up here. Yeah, this is the range it needs to be in. So if I were thinking about it in terms of the harp, maybe we're gonna dig in here. This is maybe a little too high. That feels really nice, but also still has this dark feeling. Almost Silent Hill-ish. There's a lot of ways I can spin this one, but I think I'm not going to stress it. I'm gonna put something in because I basically want the piano to take over as the anchored melody and then let the harps kind of breathe. Let them be on their own for a little bit. So let's start here. Gonna lower this down. Gonna cut that note to about here. Is that alright? Lower that velocity. We don't want to blow anyone's ears out. And then let's zoom in, make sure it's looking good. Yeah, looks good to me. Right? I would say so. Yeah? That feels good. Next. Does that feel good? Is that the missing piece of the puzzle? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, I would let it pass. Let's say it passes. Let's say it passes and we just completely clone it. But something bothers me. I think what's happening is here, the pads get used, same pattern twice. That's boring, so let's switch it up here as well. Let's make this one unique. Just gonna get in here. We're gonna get that. It's not like it's a bad pattern, but it's like I cannot play that many times. It just gets really stagnant, you know? So if it's gonna get stagnant here, or it's gonna be... So it doesn't get stagnant here, we can kind of slightly vary the chords up a little bit. Not too much. I don't think we have to go too crazy here, but just something that says, I'm new here. Let's say, let's play with this. This might be a little tricky. So, not quite. I didn't feel that one at all. Not yet. That kind of feels pretty decent. Let's see if you can record that. Now, if anything, we're gonna get that off, and let's see what that looks like. Well, I can kind of bring it back over here a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly snapped to the grid, which I think would be fine. And let's take a look. So this is kind of interesting. If I were to repeat this patterns here, right? It takes us to about the what? This is getting to the loop point actually. This kind of 1 minute here. If anything, maybe the harps don't have to disappear. What if they actually just cloned this piano pattern? Like we can just like play with that, right? Like what if they just completely, we got a harp here, harp 2, we'll make that unique and get rid of that old pattern and just copy and paste the piano pattern in there. That might actually be pretty decent. Let's see. Maybe an octave down? This is actually interesting. You guys, I'm not sure what's going on here, but it feels like I made a song that doesn't quite stick to my topic, but I don't want to get rid of this. So the skeleton itself, even though it's only 3 instruments here, it has this mood that I was trying to capture. Well, it has a mood that completely different from what I was trying to capture originally, but it still feels really good. I don't know what I want to take this in. I don't want to scrap it because next thing you know, even though it doesn't fit the this kind of explorative kind of thing, it does have a realm of like, hey, if something ominous is happening, I would feel like this is the kind of theme I would want to take this. I don't even know if I would really want percussion in here or not. I feel like I don't want to say this is complete. Definitely far from complete. But I don't really know what is next. I think this is the part where I would start dissecting a little bit. Like what do I like the most and what do I like the least? Let me just take a quick little listen. You know, in a weird way, it does feel almost complete in terms of it. That's where it needs to be. It's tricky though. I feel like this pad though, it's a little bit. I think it has like a little bit of a sizzle going on here. Let's see. I can kind of hear it. Let's just drop off the really high ends here. I don't think we really need that. Take a little bit off the low. This is the area I really want to focus on here. I don't think we really need any of this, to be honest. There's like a really heavy sizzle. I can feel it. Let's get rid of that. Let's get some delay. Here, just touch-ups. You know, I think this could actually be something that I could take and turn it into something, but it definitely became something that I didn't expect. So not to say that it's bad, but it's not where I was aiming. So that's actually kind of interesting. So what I'll probably do is actually stop this project here and start a new one. But hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know what you want to see next. And that is it for this episode. Ciao until next time. Stay creative, stay safe, and cheers.